Dadrian, if we're talking about water, we're talking about something with flowers.
Yes. And McDonald.
Very good.
Do you have a strategy, students, as to how you remember all 20 poems?
Well, you know, I put my poems in categories. So I will talk about death. I'll talk about the poems that deal with life experiences. And I always say anything that talks about growing up, I put it in childhood. So then I this.
Good work. Okay.
Thank you.
Now, how to write the comparative essay? It's like any essay that you write, the 5-paragraph essay. So you'll need your introduction, your body, and your conclusion. Now, with the comparative essay, the only difference is that you're working from 2 texts, 2 short stories or 2 poems.
I notice that sometimes students have a tendency to not deal with one of the poems. And so exam is finished, no time. Miss, I didn't get the chance to finish this poem. So I've given them a strategy. And it is simply this. Deal A for poem A and A for poem B. B for poem A and B for poem B. And then C and then C. So you are answering all questions. So if the time should finish, you would at least have attempted all of the both questions.
Right.
And so this is proper time management because it's a strategy. You have a few essays to write and you have to make sure that, because if you lose, you'll be losing half. If you only do question A and question B and question C, all of these, you will be losing those marks. Half of the mark for each question.
Okay, students, so you can write this down. Remember, you are looking at 2 texts. So, A first for poem 1, poem 2,
poem B,
poem 1, poem 2.
Looking at 2 poems. We have a question. The poems Mirror by Sylvia Plath and Old Ike by McWatt are 2 poems which deal with the themes of aging and death. Explain how each persona views and responds to the themes of aging and death. Identify and discuss how the poet uses one poetic device in each poem to highlight the theme. And which poem do you believe addresses the theme more effectively? Give evidence to support your response. Now, what I want you to pay attention to, students, is that there are pointers for you to recognize each. So it means that you must deal with 2 separate poems, 1 in each. And then the final question, it is about your personal response, but it says you must give support. Remember, your literature question and answer is never incorrect as long as you are able to support your response.
So don't leave that out. You have to support what you say with evidence from the text.
So for those persons, and I am the teacher, they are your best friends. A good literature student will always write in their text. I make my notes in my text. My students always say, Miss, they tell me because it's a camera, I must take the pencil out of my ear. But it is just something, easy access to write. But for those of you, I have done something in destroying my book by removing the wrapper. 28. You'll find both poems, Old Ike and Mirror, 127 to 128.
And if you have this text, it's on page 155 and 159.
Okay. So, Dadrian is going to read the poem. You can follow, please.
I am silver and exact. I have no preconceptions. Whatever I see, I swallow immediately, just as it is. Unmisted by love or dislike, I am not cruel, not only truthful, the eye of a little god, 4-cornered. Most of the time I meditate on the opposite wall. It is pink with speckles. I've looked at it so long. Now I am a lake. A woman bends over me, searching my reaches for what she really is. Then she turns to those liars, the candles or the moon. I see her back and reflect it faithfully. She rewards me with tears and agitation of hands. I am important to her. She comes and goes. Each morning it is her face that replaces the darkness. In me, she has drowned a young girl, and in me, an old woman rises toward her day after day like a terrible fish.
You think I like this stupidness? Gallivanting all night without skin, burning myself out like cane fire to frighten the foolish. And for what? A few drops of baby blood? You think I wouldn't rather take my blood seasoned fat black pudding like everyone else? And don't even talk about the pain of salt and having to bend these old bones to count 1,000 grains of rice. If only babies didn't smell so nice. And if I could only stop hearing the soft, soft call of that pure blood running in new veins, singing the sweet song of life, tempting an old, dry-up woman who'd been holding her final note for years and years, afraid of the dying dumb. Then again, if I didn't fly and come to that fresh pulse in the middle of the night, how would you, mother, name your ancient dread? And who to blame for the murder in your head? Believe me, as long as it have woman giving birth, a poor old egg like me can never dead. No, it is important for you to have background knowledge of whatever piece of work you're doing. And so in research, we'll recognize that Sylvia Plath, she was born October 1932. It's specific, giving you these dates. She was married at 24 years of age, divorced 6 years later, died a year after death, after divorce. But you know what is the important thing and why this poem is so ironic in itself? The fact that she committed suicide at 30. So, mirror the acceptance of, what was the theme?
Death. Death and aging.
Aging and death.
So this poem basically reflects her life.
Her life.
And so it is important to note that Sylvia Plath committed suicide at such a tender age. And to write a poem about aging, she didn't get the chance to age. She didn't age. Right.
So she did not age. And so that is, it is important in understanding the where she was when she was writing this poem. All right, so we have prepared for you a comparative table, bearing in mind that we are answering the question. Just a second. We're answering the question. Explain how each persona views and responds to the themes of aging and death. All right, so from what Dadrian read, we can see that Plath was afraid. In fact, her life and the fact that she committed suicide showed that she was afraid of aging and death. She was depressed, and I guess we can just assume now that the fact that she was divorced at such a young age, no longer in a happy marriage, she contemplated what life would be like to grow old alone. And so her response to that was suicide. So she left this poem. And maybe these are the things that she was thinking about when she was writing.
Right. And so in this line, in this poem, she said, searching my reaches for what she really is, then turns to those liars, the candles or the moon. So basically, this is telling you that she refuses to accept that she has grown old and will die. So she seeks reassurance elsewhere from the candles, the moons, as their light obscures reality. So this is one example from the poem that we can use to support the theme of aging and death in the poem Mirror. All right? And that is from line 11 and 12, stanza 1.
And remember, students, while you are giving support, you must ensure that you give proper support and explanation. So Old Ike says, she sees aging as a part of life. And the evidence for that is in line 1, stanza 3 actually, line 27 to 28. And it says, as long as it have woman giving birth, a poor old Ike like me can never dead. And so what this persona is saying is that as long as people are being born, babies are being born, she, the old Ike, will never die, because the truth is her life, her longevity depends upon the children, the babies dying. If they don't die, she can't live. If they don't die, parents cannot say, you know that my baby is dead because of the old Ike that come in and suck the blood of the baby. So she accepts it. She knows that it's natural order. As long as you have life, you will have death.
And the next thing is that she's old. Years and years. Yeah, that line as well tells us that she's aging. But will she die?
As long as people are being born, she can never die. All right, so the next part of the question, B, would have asked us to talk about different poetic devices. And so the first one, mirror, first
personification.
Is personification.
Personification is evident because the mirror is the one talking. The mirror is the persona in the poem.
The mirror is the one that has the voice. And you and I know that a mirror, in its literal sense, is an object.
Right.
But now it is saying, it says, let me tell you what the mirror says. I am silver and exact. I have no preconception, meaning I have no thoughts.
I have no reason to lie.
I have no reason to lie.
Right.
So it is giving itself the ability to think and to say it can see and know everything. Line 1, stanza 1, line 1 to 5, all of that. And then it mentions that it is a little God. It says, the eye of a little God, four-cornered. Now the four-corner image will tell you that it's a mirror shape.
Right.
But then the eye of a little God. And we know there's a little allusion here because God is all-knowing, all-present, all-seeing. And so comparing himself to a little God is giving it human qualities also.
Okay. And in Old Hague, we have a lot of examples of simile. All right. So she compares herself to cane fire. So why is this comparison effective?
Because we as Jamaicans, we have seen when they burn a cane piece. We have to say cane piece. That's how we say it. So when they light the cane piece, you just see the fire just spreading all over. This total destruction. Because that is the purpose of a cane fire, to burn everything and make all of the cane dry so that we can do the processing of sugar and such. So it says it's destructive, and everybody, no matter where you are, as long as a cane piece is being burnt, you will know, because you'll see the little black spots coming up the land so far. So the simile, she's saying that, oh, you think I like this stupidness, gallivanting all night without skin, burning myself out like cane fire. So she's saying to her readers, listen, you really think that I would want to kill myself and destroy myself? Because a cane piece is destructive when you light it. So you really think that I want to destroy myself by killing babies?
Okay. But Natesha, doesn't Old Hague has personification as well?
It does, Dadrian, it does.
Give me the example, please.
The example for personification in Old Hague, let me see.
Is Old Hague real?
You know, it is. It is real. I've heard that the Black Heart Man is real. My mother used to tell me about that all the time, and I never used to come out of my house. It is real. Old egg is real. I am in a culture where these things are real, Dadrian. So if they said that, listen, how the baby died? How did the baby die, Dadrian?
Don't they have other reasons?
No.
I don't believe in this old hag. But let's look at the rest of the devices.
Well, you know, I want to point out that simile is also in mirror. But students, the reason similes are not placed beside each other is because you have a tendency when you are asked to answer the questions and you identify in question B the poetic device, and if the two poems have the same poetic device, you normally only deal with it once.
Oh.
So if you say simile, then you would have to say simile in old egg and give the example, and then you'd have to say simile in mirror and give the example. We're going to take a break, and so we will see you when we come back for more on this exciting subject.
School's Not Out, live CSEC and CAPE lessons here on TVJ. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, along with TVJ, present School's Not Out, CSEC and CAPE lessons live Mondays to Fridays from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, with weekly School's Not Out tutorial sessions on Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. School's Not Out, live CSEC and CAPE lessons here on TVJ.
Like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Education, Youth and Information, along with TVJ, present School's Not Out, CSEC and CAPE lessons live Mondays to Fridays from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, with weekly School's Not Out tutorial sessions on Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. School's Not Out, live CSEC and CAPE lessons here on TVJ. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, along with TVJ, present School's Not Out, CSEC and CAPE lessons live Mondays to Fridays from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, with weekly School's Not Out tutorial sessions on Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. School's Not Out, live CSEC and CAPE lessons here on TVJ. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, along with TVJ, present School's Not Out, CSEC and CAPE lessons live Mondays to Fridays from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, with weekly School's Not Out tutorial sessions on Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. School's Not Out, live CSEC and CAPE lessons here on TVJ. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, along with TVJ, present School's Not Out, CSEC and CAPE lessons live Mondays to Fridays from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, with weekly School's Not Out tutorial sessions on Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. School's Not Out, live CSEC and CAPE lessons here on TVJ. The Ministry of
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste. COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling
Blackheart man is just a superstitious belief, but you know it is something that the Caribbean,
Many persons believe in it.
the Caribbean is a superstitious region.
The rolling calf and all the dopey. People actually do believe in it.
All right. We're back to question B, discussing the literary devices and giving the explanation. And as I said earlier, the old Ig and simile both have, old Ig and mirror both have similes, but we do not put them together for the purpose of this class because students have a tendency to, when they write, they just discuss the device once and not in each poem. Remember, your prompt says each poem.
This is actually coming from the CSEC reports, guys. You can use that as a guide to when studying. What to look for, what to not to do, and so it's there for you.
All right, so mirror, the simile in mirror. In me, she has drowned a young girl, and in me, an old woman rises towards her day after day like a terrible fish. You know, like a terrible fish. The persona has been looking in the mirror her entire life and watched the changes as she aged. Now she's old and feeling displaced. Just, you know, the expression like a fish out of water. She's grasping for breath, for a lost youth.
And she looks in the mirror every day, checking, you know. So the mirror is saying that I am truthful. You have to accept this. All right? And in Old Haig, rhetorical questions. Questions are seen throughout the poem. One, she's not a fool to willingly put herself through discomfort and pain. You think I like this stupidness? Gallivanting all night without skin? So basically, you know,
these are questions that she's asking. You know, rhetorical questions, students, mean that you know the answer. So any normal person would not be saying, oh, I want to gallivant all night without skin. That is something painful. So she's asking the question, you really think that I must be a crazy person for me to be doing all of these things? Going through, deliberately making myself uncomfortable, going through the discomfort and the pain. Yeah, so that is what she's saying. And then she speaks about, it's not worth it. And for what? A few drops of baby blood? So should I go through all of this just for little blood? No, it's not worth it. Rhetorical questions. A sane person would definitely know the answer is no.
Right.
And remember,
but here she kind of sound upset as to...
Upset because she's... The truth is...
Why am I getting this blame?
She's saying that she's falsely accused. She's not the person causing these babies to die. So why are you accusing me of all of this? And then finally she presents herself as a normal, very normal person. You think I wouldn't rather take my blood seasoned in fat black pudding like everyone else? Everybody eating the, you know where black pudding come from?
Guyana?
Yeah, I think so. And Barbados too, I think.
In Jamaica, we don't talk about black pudding.
No, because we don't want to eat no pig with no blood and no...
That's also important because McWatt is from Ghana, hence why
the history, the background. Right. So that's why background knowledge is important when analyzing a poem. It might be simple, but it is important because it will determine how the poet or the writer use words or situations to bring across their point.
Right.
So a normal staple for Guyanese would be black pudding. Okay. And so, yes, it's normal. It's a regular diet. So normal, because she's saying I am normal like everybody else. Rhetorical question, everybody takes it this way. So why would I be sucking baby blood? If I want some blood, I would just take some black pudding.
Okay. But this rhetorical question is also very important. And for the murder, who will you blame for the murder in your head?
Yes. But why is it important,
Because it's
Adrian?
the babies, they're dying. Who else are we going to blame but old Haig? So basically, if you don't blame me, who are you going to blame it on? And therefore, I will forever live on because you're not going to stop talking about me. There are persons who are not going to stop talking about old Haig, rolling calf, duppy. So basically,
So, Dadrian,
it's similar to if you're walking in at night, Natesha, and you hear a chain on the ground or some noise or so from your younger. They used to talk about rolling calf, right? So what would you do?
run.
That's the best thing to do.
Run. But Dadrian, you made a valid point. So if murder in your head, so that means the old egg is a scapegoat.
Yeah.
It's not old, but then again, I think that she's performing a service
A
to
mother's
mothers,
baby died during the night or so. And what else do you, if it's from a cold or something else, you're going to say, but nothing is wrong
But
with
then
the baby?
if you think about it, if the old egg wasn't alive, then mothers would be blamed for a lot of babies' death.
Yeah, so we need something to blame it on. Old Haig.
So she's a scapegoat.
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
Now I understand. Another device is symbolism
In mirror. Right.
I am silver and exact. Faces and darkness separate us and over. The symbol for mirror. Exact and silver, reflective. There is no obscurity. When you look in the mirror, whatever you put before the mirror.
That's what you're going to get. It's a
So
reflection.
I always tell him, I don't want to look in any mirror because I will look fat, and I'm not fat.
But whether you want to accept it or not, the fact is, the truth is that you are fat.
Some mirrors lie.
Mirrors don't lie. It says I'm truthful and exact. The mirror does not have any preconceptions. Okay, what does Natesha want me to tell her today?
I remember
No,
Cinderella.
it's no
Who
fairy
was it?
tale right now. No.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?
We're
That
not in
mirror-
those days, no. So you either have to accept the fact that, so here she has to accept the fact that she's aging. Wrinkles are showing. It's no longer a young girl coming in before the mirror. He said that he knew her from she was younger. And
So
no,
why you have to think that the mirror was a male? Why he said that? Why you say it's a male, Dadrian? Explain to me why you say the mirror is a male. Couldn't the mirror have been a female?
well, it could be too, but it's an object in the. So just
Yeah.
giving voice.
No, you have to tell me. You have to tell me. Tell me why you think that the mirror is a male. Is it because it's a woman that
Yes.
that is being seen in the mirror? So because it's a woman, men will be honest and say, "Oh, you're getting old."
Are men that honest? I don't know. I don't think so.
Or is it because of the interaction, male to female? You have to
Yeah,
give me a
male
reason.
to female interaction. Therefore, that's why I said the mirror is male.
Literature, you have to give me a reason for your response. So yes, I accept
Male and
you
female
now.
interaction.
Okay, I can
Okay.
accept that, Dadrian.
We can argue this. You can say it's a woman, but I'll say it's a male. I'll give that persona.
And I will not dispute your answer because you have given a rationale.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and also faces and darkness separate us. Darkness literally means no light. In its literal sense, no light. But then it also means the inability of this woman to accept the truth that she is really getting old, and so she's in the dark. she will not come into the light of truthfulness. All right? So the next one would be repetition for old eye. Dadrian?
Hearing the soft, soft call. All right? This is repetition of soft, which is the tender, soft calls of the baby's blood running in their veins are irresistible to old hag. So she's also given this reason. I have to heed to this call, you know, and that's what she wants.
That's her main purpose. It's her survival tool. And then we go to mirror again, imagery. Clearly, it says, most of the time I meditate on the opposite wall. The opposite wall. So the mirror is above the bed on the opposite wall. So as you can see that picture. Because if it's, you can see every time she would get up, because of the position of the mirror, then she will have to see herself. So the poem has a lot of images that you can point out. This is just one of them. There's another, it is pink with speckles. I think it is part of my heart, but it flickers. These are images. You can see them. You can actually visualize these things happening. All right?
Old hag, alliteration. Singing the sweet song of life. You know what alliteration is? Alliteration?
It is, let me see. What is alliteration? Oh, it is the repetition of the consonant.
The consonant sound. So
not
we
the
hear
consonant, but the consonant
repetition
sound.
of the S sound, singing the sweet song of life. All right, and this basically means her emphasis. It emphasizes her dependence, even addiction to the blood of the innocent baby. It is a song that she must partake of. It is a song that she answers, that once she answers will bring her life. And that's what she wants.
Yes, that is exactly what she wants. And here is the final C, reader response. Now, the question, we have to go back to the very top because we need to get the question for this. Which poem do you believe addresses the theme more effectively? Give evidence to support your response.
I think mirror.
I think old eye.
All right, I'll say mirror because here the poem presents her from the poet. The mirror says that he knows her from she was young, and so we see the aging because now she is old and wrinkled. And she's seeing that every day she looks in the mirror presently. Therefore, what I'm saying is, what I'm looking at to say that aging and death is more in mirror is because of the inevitability, right? It's there. So whether she wants to accept it or not, the mirror is going to be truthful and to tell her that, listen, you are going to age, you are going to die, whether you like it or not, whether you are going to accept it or not. I am here to remind you that you are going to age, you are going to die because it will happen. It's inevitable.
I think that all eye, one, because she accepts it. And while it isn't explicitly stated, but you have three categories of people in life stages in old age. You have the babies, then you have the mothers, and then you have the old age, the old woman. So you see, yes, mirror speaks about the young woman, and then now she's an old woman. But there's no, from the young girl to the big woman to the old woman. And I think old eye does that for me. Because if we get the babies, and obviously babies can't have themselves, and the old eye can't have them. So the mothers, the murder in the head, the mothers would be at that middle connectivity, the process of aging, and death, and then the continuity of life, because as they die, she will continue to live. It's a cycle for me. What do you say to that?
Well, I'll agree with you to some extent, Natesha. You have provided your evidence. I've provided my evidence. The examiners will have to give us.
I will get my full percentage and you will get your full percentage. Go! 1. Thank you, teachers.
Okay,
Very
so
good.
you can, this is a question. You can, what do you think? You can, well, take a copy of it, a picture of it, and try to answer it on your own in the essay format. Please remember that you have to remember it's a comparative piece.
So you have to give both
Right?
points.
Also, what is very important are your transitional expressions. So it's either it's similar to this or it's different from that. So you use your however or similarly to connect your points.
As you said that, Dadrian, one of the things that I know that markers usually look for is the comparative words, like both, as well as, or in both, they
In
have
both
the share.
poems, if they share similarities,
Right.
you
So
have to present
that is
those.
automatically, just the use is automatically 1 point to say that they are, you show the comparison. It's 1 point automatically. So please,
CSEC is
again,
marking for expression and
Yes.
understanding and how well you explain your point, how well you develop your paragraphs.
and another thing that I noticed, even though I have this on the board, please, students, remember that when you're answering, these are only provided as guides for you on how to answer or structure your essay. You're not supposed to write A, B, and C when you're answering the essay.
Essay format.
It's essays.
Essay.
So you don't write A and then you put the answer for poem 1 and then A and put the answer for poem 2. No. It's just a guide for you to know the order
How
in
to
which you are to
yes,
structure
organization, because that's another key aspect of it.
Right.
How you organize your points. And so, well, this can be, A can be 1 paragraph, B can be another paragraph, C can be another paragraph, and then you summarize. So you have state your main point to begin your essay, and in the essay, remember the topic sentence, the main point, what are you
Support.
writing about, and then you go into your answer. Remember, evidence from the text is important. Many of my students like to just read summaries. You cannot read summaries because in order to provide the examples, you have to basically state from the text.
And students have a tendency to say, Miss, I don't know how to introduce. I always say to my students,
Summarize.
the prompt itself is an introduction. The poems Mirror by Sylvia Plath and Old Eye by McWatt are 2 poems, and you continue the essay. We're going to take our final break. When we come back, we'll be wrapping up. If you have a question on what we have been talking about today and what is the answer, we look at it when we come back.
Education, Youth and Information, along with TVJ, present Schools Not Out. CSEC and CAPE lessons live Mondays to Fridays from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, with weekly Schools Not Out tutorial sessions on Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Schools Not Out, live CSEC and CAPE lessons here on TVJ. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, along with TVJ, present Schools Not Out. CSEC and CAPE lessons live Mondays to Fridays from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, with weekly Schools Not Out tutorial sessions on Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Schools Not Out, live CSEC and CAPE lessons here on TVJ. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, along with TVJ, present Schools Not Out, CSEC and CAPE lessons live Mondays to Fridays from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, with weekly Schools Not Out tutorial sessions on Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Schools Not Out, live CSEC and CAPE lessons here on TVJ.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, along with TVJ, present Schools Not Out, CSEC and CAPE lessons live Mondays to Fridays from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, with weekly Schools Not Out tutorial sessions on Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Schools Not Out, live CSEC and CAPE lessons here on TVJ. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, along with TVJ, present Schools Not Out, CSEC and CAPE lessons live Mondays to Fridays from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, with weekly Schools Not Out tutorial sessions on Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Schools Not Out, live CSEC and CAPE lessons here on TVJ. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, along with TVJ, present Schools Not Out, CSEC and CAPE lessons live Mondays to Fridays from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, with weekly Schools Not Out tutorial sessions on Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Schools Not Out, live CSEC and CAPE lessons here on TVJ. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, along with TVJ, present Schools Not Out, CSEC and CAPE lessons live Mondays.
Welcome back to Schools Not Out. Today we have been discussing writing the comparative essay. We're going to ask a question. What literary device is this? And if I could only hear the soft call of pure blood running in new veins. What literary device is, and if I could only hear the soft call of new blood running in new veins.
Right. And so we are awaiting your answers, but for this section, we're just going to give you a question for our short story. And we're asking if you could write it up on your own. As you saw Dadrian and I together, we actually came together, plotted our essay, and discuss it with the poems. It's the same thing for the comparative essay for short stories. It says choose 2 short stories that you have studied which deal with social issues. For each short story, describe the social issues presented. In each story, show how the writer uses the characters to highlight the social issues.
What stories would you use for this, Natesha?
Social issues. It depends. I think Mom Luby and the social worker would be an excellent story. You remember that story?
Yes. Well, let's remind me.
Well, it is the story of this old woman that she had 2 children, young children, that she was looking after. Their mother died. And so she was like their foster mother, and foster care. So she needed help from the government. And the government had a lot of red tape, and she wanted some clothes for the children.
Oh, and school shoes. Yes, I'm remembering that story.
And they put her, go sign up these forms, then go to that desk, turn right at that door, turn left at that door, turn right at that. And she said, by the time I finished taking in the documents, the children would have outgrown the clothes. So I think that is one.
Mom Lube, the same person who was a minister.
Yes. Yes. Jill of all trades. She was a doctor.
A lawyer.
She was a midwife. She was a lawyer.
She was
a bartender, a business owner. She was a home owner.
So with all those jobs, why does she need help from the government?
Because she had a heart of gold and nobody would pay her. So she was like just the community, what would you call it? Come to help us? Yes. The community come to help us. Everybody went to her for help. But when she wanted help for the children, she couldn't get it. So
was she qualified?
Depends on what you call qualification, Dadrian, because she could argue in court, even though she never went to the bar. She could deliver babies, even though she never went to any midwifery school. She could preach,
qualifications
even though she didn't go
meant nothing.
Qualifications and Dadrian. Come on, Dadrian. Literature Society. How many persons have qualification and paper and can't do the job? Or how many persons don't have qualification and can't do the job?
I'll leave that.
That is what it is about. Discuss it. But Mom Luby and the social worker, I think, would be a good
social
story.
Issues.
And
Right.
Berry. I am choosing Berry because of the fact that Berry sounds nice.
No, it's not about how it sounds. It's a wonderful story, of course.
Berry sounds nice. Remember, Berry is the name of the character.
Does it speak to social issues?
It does, because they don't like him because
when you are
he was
choosing
black.
your text, students,
They didn't like. Okay,
when you're choosing your text, please ensure that you have enough content to cover the question asked.
I have enough content.
Not because it is nice or not because you enjoy reading this story. I like Blackout. Should I use that?
No, Blackout has nothing about social issues like well, it does
Berry
in a
has
point. But you see, the thing is that we're talking about institutions. Institutions. Mom Luby, we talk about the institution of where she went to get the help. And then now, Berry Dadrian was the story where they use an employment agency that sent a black man to the job. And they didn't know that he was black until the day he turned up for the job. And so because of that,
racism in there too then.
Yeah, but it's a social issue.
Racism.
Yes. Because isn't that what will allow people to treat people differently?
Yes.
Berry is good.
Berry is a black man, and
he's not very educated.
He was replaced in a white.
He was replaced in a white
Scandinavian,
person.
to be exact, right?
And not only that, remember, because he was black, he got less paid.
Yeah, the other man was being paid $10 and they paid Berry
$8.
Okay.
So I think that Berry and Mom Luby and the social worker would be excellent for this.
So those are some really good social issues presented. But in Mom Luby, the social worker, was she white?
Her language, the language suggests that she was black.
So we have to use the language as well
so
to look at the characters, which is B. It says, show how the writer uses the characters to highlight the social issues.
So you can know about characters, based on how they are dressed and how they speak.
Right.
All right?
Yeah.
So I would like for our students to really give a response. Share it with their teachers.
Or maybe now that you're at home, maybe you can go into your online classroom, pose this question, and have a lovely discussion on it.
Excellent. Congratulations to Devon Webb, Javona Web for the correct identification of the device personification. Excellent. That's all for CSEC English B.
Watch the highlights from Schools Not Out on TVJ Saturday 1 to 4 p.m.
Or you can watch the repeat on JNN at 5 to 8 p.m. Monday to Friday.
And on One Spot Media, video on demand. Until next time,
I'm Natesha Lindsay.
And I'm Dadrian Suckoo.
More Schools Not Out next week Monday. Keep safe, have a great weekend, and remember,
wash those hands.